The concept of this book is really great because it is about task completion. And this is absolutely the most practical way to become successful. Task completion. The ideas in the book are also very great, but the explanation of these ideas are pretty obvious to me and a bit too long in my opinion. Therefore, I think it will suffice to read this book very quickly. You can screen the text and see for yourself what you think is important, so you can read that part deeply. But I do recommend buying this book. David Allen has divided getting things done into 5 steps, and he speaks about them one per chapter, and this is really what the whole book is about. But in the next chapters he gives a ton of other tips or other key principles. And he says that the methods he presents in the book are all based on 3 key objectives. First, that you need to capture all the things that might need to get done or have usefulness for you. And this can be now, later, someday, but that you store them in a logical, trusted system that is outside your head. And what is important here, that it is outside your head. It can't be on your mind anymore because the mind is for having ideas, not for storing them. The second objective is that you need to direct yourself to make front-end decisions about how you spend your time over the course of the day. That you will always have a workable list of next actions where you can execute on. And the third objective is that you can curate and coordinate all that content, knowing the commitment with yourself and with others at any point in time. These 3 goals are very important in life if you want to succeed, because task completion is the most practical way to success. If you follow the next 5 steps, you accomplish these 3 goals. So rule number 1 is execute your task according to the 5 phases. The first one is capture, correlating your stuff. So what you need to do here is to collect what has your attention. You need to take a sheet of paper or a trusted system where you can write everything down that comes up in your mind. Everything that needs to get done or requires your attention. And in today's world it could be a note in your iPhone or in an Evernote, for example. That's how I do it. But this is very important. This is because it is very helpful to have a sense of volume of stuff you have to do. Also, you get clarity by knowing what the end of the tunnel is. And this is very good for motivation. You won't feel stressed when you know what to do. Try this once, you will see what I mean. But until you have captured everything that has your attention, some part of you will still not totally trust you have the whole picture of what you need to work on. You can only feel good about what you're not doing when you have a clear understanding of what you are not doing. So rule number 2 is first capture everything that has your attention. Alright, assuming that you have collected everything that has your attention, your job now is to actually get to the bottom of the list. So you have captured all the stuff that's on your mind and it goes into the basket. The next question is what you need to ask yourself. What is it? What is it? This means that you need to define what everything means and if it's worth doing or not. And that you captured your attention doesn't actually mean doing all the actions and projects. It just means identifying each item and deciding what it is, what it means, and what you're going to do with it. And you also put behind every task if it's actionable or not, and what the next action would be. You need to clearly define if you need to do it, delegate it, or don't defer it. The author uses a simple rule of thumb. Ideas that cost you less than 2 minutes, you need to do immediately. And that is the only thing you need to do right now at this point. So, rule number 3 is clarify what everything on your list means. The author shares a beautiful quote. Airtight organization is required for your focus to remain on the broader horizons and eliminate the constant pressure to remember or be reminded. David Allen himself has made this. And this is a beautiful set by the author, and what he means by this is that being organized means nothing more or less than having your brain filed in a trusted system. If you decide you want to keep something as a reference and then you put it where your reference material needs to be. That's organized. And if you think you need a reminder about a call you need to make, put it in your Google Calendar, for example. Then you're organized. So it's pretty simple, really. But for a lot of people, this is a hard job. What David recommends you to do is to take the time to think about this and really use your system every day consistently. That is the key, being consistent in this, so that you can trust your system and that you can feel at peace because you know that it is in your system. Having a total and seamless system of organization in place gives you tremendous power because it allows your mind to let go of lower level thinking, and it graduates into intuitive focusing and undistracted by matters that haven't been dealt with properly. So what it really means is that you can focus much more. You have much more energy and attention over for the important stuff, like having the $1 million idea, for example. So rule number 4 is organize where everything belongs. And the whole purpose of this workflow management system is not to let your brain become lazy, but rather to make sure that it is at peace. When you have a stress-free mind, it will work much more elegant, productive and creative, he says. And this is the type of behavior you need. In order to earn that peaceful focus, however, your brain must engage consistently with all your filed tasks. You must be assured that you're doing the right thing and that it is alright that you are not doing the rest at this moment. So therefore, you need to reflect all the time. 5 minutes per day should be more than enough when you have a large number of different tasks. But if you have a great number of the same habits every day, it can even be less. And also schedule 1 moment per week in to reflect 10 times longer than normal. Remember, it is all for your own clarity, and don't think that you can succeed without it. And Ayn Rand shares a quote with us, and I quote, "The maintenance of life and the pursuit of happiness are not two separate issues." So rule number 5 is reflect constantly to get a clear understanding. Alright, the last rule is really the easiest to understand, but also the hardest to implement. When you have everything filed and you have clarity on what you should do and what you shouldn't do, there remains just one objective. Just do it. You need to engage in the task that is in front of you. No excuses allowed anymore. You have everything you need, now execute on it. But I don't feel like it, doesn't matter. Just do it. But my parents say that I can't. Just do it. Can I do it tomorrow? Nope, just do it now. In case you need to make hard actionable choices, when you know your priority, execute on it. So, rule number 6 is simply engage in the task at hand. To summarize, execute your tasks according to the 5 phases. First, capture everything that has your attention. Second, clarify what everything on your list means. Third, organize where everything belongs. Fourth, reflect constantly to get a clear understanding. And fifth, simply engage in the task at hand. Thank you for watching, and as always, get your ass.